I've been seeing those videos going around about the skin-toned fleece tights. Yeah, I'm never wearing that, okay? I'm never wearing that. It's either be cold or wear proper clothes.
I beat on men when they play with me.
Right, but if you're a man and you watch me struggle to put my carry-on in the overhead compartment and you don't offer to help.
I have longed for someone to say something to me other than, "Oh gosh, you're so pretty." I've longed to hear other words. I know I'm more than this.
Some house cleaning before we get started. For those who've been rocking with me from day one, I appreciate the support. For those who may be new here, coming in or out the door, for me, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. Every bit of your engagement absolutely helps promote your boy into the YouTube algorithm. I thank y'all for the support. Now let's get to it. Drop the video. Let's go.
I've been seeing those videos going around about the skin-toned fleece tights. Yeah, I'm never wearing that, okay? I'm never wearing that. It's either be cold or wear proper clothes. Those are the only options for me. Be cold or wear the appropriate attire for the weather, okay? Get these fleece tights out of here. Shiver. Shiver.
I'm genuinely confused here. I don't know what dog she has in this fight. She's sitting up here with her tig old bitties exposed for the world to see, and you have a complaint to wage against women who wear skin tone fleece tights for the winter, and you're trying to castigate them for what's appropriate and what's inappropriate. I don't, I get so confused. I'm so confused now because what type of demon do you have to be to have this amount of cognitive dissonance? Like, the amount of cognitive dissonance on display here is astounding. You are trying to pass judgment on women for wearing skin tone tights, the kind of tights that match your skin and it looks like you're essentially naked. You're trying to pass judgment on them when, if I chose to enlarge this image that I've stopped on, pretty sure we got a nip slip. We got a nip slip. Or at least your nips are poking through that shirt. But you're trying to pass judgment on someone else. Got it. Got it. This was nothing more than clickbait. She just wanted to show off her, memory bags there. And she thought she was going to get a lot of likes, clicks, and views, but she didn't. But hey, nice try though. See what you're doing. You're not slick. You're not slick. Let's go to the next one.
We listen and we don't judge. I beat on men when they play with me. We listen and we don't judge.
No, ma'am. We judge. You know why we judge? Because this is hypocrisy. I see a number of women on TikTok in particular. They post content where they're just giddy about the violence they perpetrate against men. And then I can go to another sector of TikTok and I'll see women on these elaborate panels discussing the violence issue between men and women, this supposedly femicide. So, on one hand, you have women producing droves of content talking about how violent they are towards men, how much they put their hands on men. They, like this lady say, beat men when they play with them. And then on the other hand, you have swaths of women sitting up on panels all day talking about the violence issue of femicide in the black community. So, again, I've done videos on this in the past and I've laid out the stats numerous times that violence is typically bilateral and 90% of the time, or I believe it's 80% of the time, is initiated by women. Women are initiating the violence. And don't get me started on the domestic violent rates or the DV rates of same-sex relationships when it's female on female. Astronomical numbers. And yet, I have to constantly hear that there is a violence problem with men. And I don't disagree with that. The amount of violence that is perpetrated against men by other men is extraordinarily high. And those men do have a violence problem, but it's like less than 1% of the male population that has this problem. It's like less than 1%. So when I hear y'all keep telling me that there's an issue in the black community with violence being perpetrated against women and there's a perceived femicide, I don't believe you. I don't. You know why I don't believe you? Because I've seen the numbers. And you know why I don't believe you as well? Because I know that women initiate a lot of the violence that is being, reciprocated back to them from initiating the violence. I don't condone anyone perpetrating violence against anyone. Let's get that straight. I don't condone violence in any manner unless it's self protection. But to pretend like this is just one sided is disingenuous.
Right, but if you're a man and you watch me struggle to put my carry-on in the overhead compartment and you don't offer to help, jail. What is wrong with you?
These videos also confuse me because I don't understand what's the problem. Because a stranger doesn't offer to help you, then it's all of a sudden an issue. And you know, let me say this, right? You can constantly see on social media women saying that they're strong, they're independent, they don't need men. Men should mind their business. They don't owe you anything. They don't owe you a smile. They don't owe you a hello. Women don't have to give their bodies to men. Women have complete autonomy over their bodies. If a woman wants to bring a child into this world, it's solely her decision. If she doesn't, it's solely her decision. But yet, when we get to something as mundane and trivial as helping her put her bag in the overhead compartment of a plane, then it's men are just these Neanderthals and what happened to the men? And men are just so horrible. I can't believe they won't help a stranger do something. When a man can't even get you to smile, can't even get you to say hello, can't even get you to be polite. And yet, somehow, y'all keep expecting chivalry. In 2025, y'all keep expecting men to be chivalrous. You keep expecting one way effort from men while you don't have to do anything. Even you're expecting this stuff from men you're not even in relationships with. Don't get me started on the men you're actually in relationships with. But you expect this from complete strangers. Horrible. Horrible. Completely and utterly horrible. Y'all are not good people. I keep telling y'all this. Y'all are not the good people you think you are. You keep showing the world that you're in fact horrible. And I'm talking about the women on social media that post this type of content.
I have longed for someone to say something to me other than, oh gosh, you're so pretty. I've longed to hear other words. I know I'm more than this. So as I've aged, I've been determined to age gracefully and naturally. I think it's a shame that as women, we're being told that we have to find a way to stay eternally young, forever 30, as though we're not allowed to be human and do what we're naturally born to do. We're born to age and die. But somehow as women, we have to do the unthinkable. We have to figure out a way to do it. And unfortunately, we're turning ourselves into monsters trying to do that. So I'm committed to being a spokesperson for allowing yourself to age gracefully, knowing that you're more than this shell you're walking around in.
No shade to Miss Berry. I've been a fan of hers since I've been very young and since she's been very young. I just have one question. One question I would, if I ever got an opportunity to ask her about this particular interview and about this particular diatribe. When you were younger, when you were at your sexual peak, when you were at your peak of attractiveness, right? Did you have that same sentiment? Was the sentiment the same? I bet when you were at your peak, you parlayed that attraction into a very lucrative career that spanned about 3 decades. I didn't see you or hear you having any complaints about using your looks to open those doors for you. And now that your looks have somewhat faded because you're still a very attractive woman, no one can ever take that away from her. Now that you can't really parlay that into something lucrative like you did 30 years ago. Now you want to be respected for something other than your beauty and your looks and your attractiveness. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't, for 3 decades plus, utilize your beauty to become one of the most world renowned actresses, one of the most recognizable faces in the world. And now that that well has dried up, you have this complaint. I didn't see that complaint when you were at your peak beauty. I didn't hear it. And maybe you did have this complaint, but you didn't voice it to the world. And here's my thing with women who start to age out of their beauty. If you cannot parlay that beauty when it's at its peak into something of tangible longevity that lasts you throughout the rest of your life, then that's just the breaks, man. You cannot have it all. And I really wish society would start teaching women that just because you deem something to be so doesn't make it so. No one is telling women that you still have to maintain your looks that you had when you were 30. That's something you're telling yourselves. Because as a man, and I'm pretty sure most men expect women to age. I mean, we live on planet Earth. You're going to age. You're a carbon-based human being. You're going to age. But what we do expect women to do is age gracefully, age respectfully. See, this is why it's so important to be healthy and whole and to be able to maintain relationships. Because if you were in a healthy, whole relationship with a man over decades of time, that man wouldn't care when your looks fade because he has investment in you. He knows what type of person you are. He knows that you're a good person and that looks will eventually fade from him as well as you, and that he wouldn't hold that against you because there's something else you brought to the relationship other than your looks. There's something you brought to the relationship other than your sexuality, character. And I keep telling people, if you develop character, you develop morals, a system of values, this stuff wouldn't be issues. It wouldn't be issues at all. But a lot of times people lose at the game of life simply because they're losers. That's all I got, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Get it cracking in the comments. I'll see y'all in the credits. 2 fingers. Peace. I'm out. Catch y'all on the next one.
Like Jesus.
You think that what we're fighting about is stupid. Just cause you don't agree don't mean it's stupid. Lately communication feels so useless. If we don't got that obsessive love, then what are we doing? I don't ask for much from you. It's like you don't got the time to lose. Make me feel like I'm a burden when I tell you how I'm hurting.